Today on Zilla Boys Podcast, Bad Batch, Gina Carano, Marvel News, and Brandon McElvy is on the show. Greetings, everybody. You are listening to the Zilla Boys Podcast. I'm Jacob, and that is Ernesto.
What up, everybody?
And we have our breast guest, our breast guest, Brandon McElvy's back on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, what's up, B?
Well, thank you for coming back on the show. For those of you who don't know, Brandon McElvy's basketball star, supreme, and massive nerd.
Yeah, that nerd part. A little bit.
Yeah, big old freaking nerd. Just a little Star Wars nerd right here. All right, real quick for everyone who has not subscribed, if you're interested in listening to a podcast with two nerds every week, subscribe to us because we are exactly that. Me and Ernesto do this crap every week. We're dos nerdos. We do this every week. So yeah,
I'm teaching Jacob Spanish.
2.5.
2.5. Oh, and
2.5.
He's a half. There we go.
Anyway, subscribe to our podcast if you haven't already done that. Click that notification bar down below to get notifications on our most recent podcast. Little ding ding, little small ding ding.
Ring the ding ding.
Yeah, a little small ding. Little ding ding. And we also have our podcasts on different networks such as Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Go check out those as Ernesto puts his thumb right in front of my camera, blocking my face.
I did. I'm sorry. There we go.
No, you're good. I'm
over
just
here
whining.
it's cool on this camera, but over here it's in the way. That's cool. I mean, my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Also, and I know I just said we put a podcast out every single week, but we will not be putting a podcast out next week because we are actually shooting a movie directed by yours truly, produced by Ernesto Gonzalez. It's called Round Zero. It stars Peter Marsh and Abigail Stewart.
Yeah, we actually started making this movie before we started our podcast, and we're finally getting to go back to do the reshoot 7 months later. How do you know?
Yeah. 7 months later, we're finally getting to do the reshoots.
So when Hollywood says they're going for reshoots, I totally understand what they're talking about. You know, like,
it takes a while, guys. It's a process.
So,
it doesn't just happen overnight. So reshoots
I don't know, we might
problem.
try and do something from the set. Would be kind of cool, man. We might do some behind the scenes things or something. You know.
Yeah. If anyone's interested, we'll give updates when we get back. When we do a podcast the next week, because we'll say, to clarify, no podcast next week. We will resume our normal podcast the week after. And also, just for the people who have subscribed, thank you very much for subscribing.
Oh,
we appreciate
85
y'all.
strong. What's up, everybody?
85 subscribers. It's great for us. It's not a lot for most people, but for us, it means a lot.
When we get 100, we're going to light fireworks in this office to celebrate. Right, Jacob?
No.
Nah. Maybe just poppers. I'm sorry.
Unless you just want to click on the news and like two boys burn their
We're
entire
going to light up some
office
bottle
down.
rockets up in here.
Look, I need this for my own podcast, so please no fire.
Brandon's gonna log in. Like he's not even gonna flinch that we died. It's like, dang it, I needed that place. I needed
really?
that stuff.
Like, man, so inconvenient.
Yeah,
right.
Speaking of podcasts, Brandon has his own podcast. It's called Be In Your Lane TV. He hosts it with Ricky. What's his last name?
Ricky. Was real name, stage name is Clear Lanes. My stage name is B-Mac, a.k.a. Brandon Made Around Christ. So we have our own podcast, Be In Your Lane TV. Check us out. We definitely release pretty much every week, but we're just starting out. We're 48 subscribers.
Yeah, hey man.
48, not bad, but definitely want to take it to another level. We definitely have a new episode coming out soon, episode 3. We're gonna be talking about relationships.
Ooh, that's something.
We got 2 of my female friends came on, Christine and Roya. So it's gonna be interesting. I think a lot of people are gonna like it. It's entertaining. You got 4 funny people.
It's a great I listened into it a little bit. It's a really funny podcast. Y'all should seriously listen in. Be In Your Lane TV talks about religion, faith, whole bunch of other stuff. Really, really good.
And
highly recommend.
Relationships.
Sports.
with 2 ladies and 2 dudes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, we definitely got to argue in that day. So.
Anyway, Be In Your Lane TV, subscribe to them, check that out. I'll get notifications on them as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our first topic of the day. May the 4th happened. On May the 4th, the first episode of Bad Batch happened, and that Friday, the second episode of Bad Batch happened. We're going to get our initial thoughts, reactions to the first and second episode of the Bad Batch. Ernesto, I'm going to bring it to you first. Actually, no, screw you. I already talked to you every week.
Guess
Brandon,
first, man. Come on,
the man we actually brought here. What do you
Man.
think of the first and second episode, just as a general thought, before we get into this?
It was a great episode. I like both of them. I love both of them a lot. I thought that the Bad Batch came in with a bang. it threw me off, with Kanan Jarrus, aka Caleb Doom, coming in at the very beginning.
Spoilers. My goodness, we can't do it.
Spoilers.
We never did. So the thing is,
I
with our
told you about
podcast,
this
we've
shit.
never
I told you this earlier.
we've never officially said before, like, hey, spoilers. No, we have to wait till we actually get into the spoilers, and then we remind. Oh yeah, we got to do.
Okay,
Spoilers.
for those of you who haven't
yeah.
seen Bad Batch episode 1 and 2, spoilers ahead. We're gonna put a
Highly. Okay, I'm sorry,
sign up,
Brandon.
spoilers.
Continue. My apologies.
I'll start over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought Bad Batch came in with a bang. I mean, just in general, it took me off guard with the Clone Wars, start to it, because I really had to look at my phone like, wait, am I watching the Bad Batch? Like, why do I hear that general's voice? But it was very interesting. First I came on, it came on in the Master. I didn't know who the Jedi was, and then they said Caleb. I said, there's only one Caleb, little Padawan guy, coming. So I knew who it was, Kanan Jarrus. And so just seeing him come and slide down in the Bad Batch, they came in and did their thing. Of course, look, I got to throw a little bit of shade at Mortal Kombat. When you have a main character, please can let him or her or whoever come in and kick major butt. And that's exactly what they did. And so they came in right where they left off in Clone Wars, and they did their thing. So
Truly,
I think the storyline, I love the storyline. What the angle that they're coming out at is the confusion. It's like, okay, the inhibitor chip, seeing their brothers acting differently. Why are they going after the Jedi? They witnessed the Jedi get killed. Kanan Jarrus. Definitely, him being scared, which was, that was normal. And so that going into the second episode, I think the biggest question mark I have so far, and I'll turn it back, is who and what is Omega? Like, and I told Jacob this over the phone the other day. I said, her voice doesn't even seem like it's a part of the show. It's just like an added sound, like sound bite. Like, it's very unique. And then also I'm trying to figure out, like, what's her defect. And then that moment, if you guys remember, when she went over to Crosshair and could tell is she force sensitive. So we're gonna see.
It's possible. I do think when she did go over to Crosshair and tell him that it's not your fault, I think she does know that he has the inhibitor chip inside. Like, she worked with the Geonosians. She knows everything about the clones, so she's pretty much aware that they have the inhibitor chip. So I don't think she's force sensitive, but I do think there's something different about her, other than the fact that she's a clone and she's a chick. So that's probably her defect.
She's a little young to call her a chick, but hey.
Well, a little girl.
I'm kidding here.
But I mean,
child.
but like, I mean, she's a female version of clone Jango Fett?
I guess so.
Is that what she is?
I saw an interesting little cross that she might be, and this is why I mentioned force sensitive. What was the Jedi that died?
Sifo Dyas?
Sifo Dyas. Yeah, that she could possibly be related to him in some type of way. It's just a theory, but I think it's a very possible one. Especially considering the fact that he was responsible for that whole clone.
I don't know. I don't think... I kind of want her to be her own thing. I don't really want her to be a Jedi, necessarily.
I think she's a spy, man.
It's possible. I think she should be her own entity, because it's from what we know about her character so far. Like, she hasn't seen a lot of action. She hasn't been outside of the Camino cloning lab, so she's been pretty much with the Geonosians throughout this entire time. She knows everything about the cloning process. She knows about Order 66. She knows about the inhibitor chip. So she knows a lot more than some of the Bad Batch characters.
Then 11-year-old should know, or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
an 11-year-old should know.
I mean, not even just knowing more than them. I mean, she knows more than just the clones in general. So it's like, I mean, at this point, like I said, I'm very interested to see. I think her relationship with Hunter is going to be kind of Mandalorian type thing, very much so. So I think that relationship is going to determine the tide and the swing of the show.
Maybe that's like the only story that Disney can tell Star Wars correctly, is if one character is looking up a very small character and they have to protect that character. Well, I do agree that their relationship is doing really good so far, because that character of Omega could easily come off as annoying and just like a side character, like, oh, we got to drag this kid along. Yeah. And I guess in some certain circumstances that you can say, like, yeah, she is kind of a pushover, but at the same time, like, it's a kid. Like, she's just reacting as a normal kid would react. Like, when she walks out into that world for the first time outside of Geonosis, it's like, wow, it's like, there's so much crap here. Like, this is really interesting.
I don't think she slows the story down. I think she's actually proven herself to be pretty useful so far.
She is pretty useful.
So I'm thinking that, like I said, the relationship between Hunter and Omega is going to determine a lot. I think the question mostly everybody's mind is, what happens to the Bad Batch at the end? Do they die? Did one of them survive?
That's a good question. What do you think, Jacob?
I feel like it's going to be it's possibly going to be a Rogue One situation. Now, I'm going to get back to Rogue One in a minute because you said something yesterday that I'm going to fight you about. But it may be a Rogue One situation to where pretty much all the characters die in the end in some kind of heroic sacrifice situation, which originally I didn't think Disney had the balls to tell that story until Rogue One happened, and then it happened, and like they kind of went like Remember the Alamo situation where they all like heroically died in the end. So I kind of respect that storytelling in Rogue One, and it could go this way. But again, we thought it was going to go that way with Ahsoka, but she ended up escaping with Rex in the very end. Yeah. So I am interested to see where they could take this, and I do trust Dave Filoni as the showrunner. Yes. And like all hail Dave Filoni.
Filoni is that guy.
He's the man. Yeah. But Ernesto, like the first few episodes, what do you think like the Bad Batch as of right now? Because I think their characters aren't necessarily complex, but I do like that they put them in the situation of Order 66 to see how they react.
Well, I mean, like Brandon says, like, it's confusion.
Yeah.
Well, they come in like with a bang, dude. Like, we see, Kanan and Pepa Delata, I think's her name, the master.
I think so. I'm not 100%
I like
sure.
seeing him, but man, I did not like hearing Freddie Prinze's voice doing. That was jarring. It was like it's a little kid with a grown ass man's voice. I remember. Freddie Prinze Jr., he does the voice for Kanan. Oh, really? Okay. He did the voice while he's a little, 11-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't...
That's a grown man doing it.
Yeah, it didn't sound right. But
a small child coming up was like, hello.
Was I the only one that kind of tripped out about Omega's voice?
No, I liked her voice. She sounded like she was...
She just sounded like angelic. Like, it was like, it doesn't belong in the show. Like, you got a bunch of Rough Riders. And you got this little kid with this, like... This sweet voice, and
maybe the character's trying to do a Jango Fett impression or some kind of clone impression. Maybe that's the case. Well, I don't know.
They're going for like an island, like a South Pacific Islander, like I think it's called Minori or whatever the actual term for it is.
One of those,
like a Fijian Kiwi kind of.
I thought to me it was more like you talking about Omega.
No, because Jango Fett is like Tamora Morrison. He's an Islander, man.
Yeah.
Well, she sounded more British to me.
Oh, she probably.
She kind of does. She does have an accent.
She has an accent. I can't really pinpoint what it is, but it doesn't. It sounds more British to me. I don't know.
But no, I thought it was really I thought it was cool that they showed Kanan's freaking master getting killed, him running away. Mm-hmm. They showed them in the middle of Order 66, and their chips don't work because of their mutations.
Yeah, their
mutations gives them their enhancements. Also messes with their chip, except for Crosshairs. Crosshairs is on the verge of working but not working.
Yeah,
and they're questioning what's going on. Like they're chasing Kanan, and Kanan's like, "Stay away! What's going on?" He's like, "Dude, I'm just as confused. I don't know what's going on, man." Yeah. And then when they get back, we find out that the Empire has formed and there's no longer the Republic, and that Tarkin comes in and he wants to shut down the clones. Mm-hmm. And the Geonosian's like, "Hey, you owe us money for these clones." He's like, "No, your deal was with the Republic. We're the Empire now. We don't owe you jack crap." You know?
I spent all my money on my thighs.
Yeah, on those funny pants.
My gosh,
those pants with the poofs in them. I don't know what they're called.
Part of me thought it was like, yeah, that's maybe his pants, but like I kept looking and like it looked like his thighs. Like that's weird. Why is he? There's like a mutation down there. It's like skinny legs and then thunk, big thick thighs.
Look, Tarkin's whole face looks deformed. So at that point,
but
kind of,
his head's shaped like a skull. Like it's just.
But he's supposed to look like that. That's the thing.
I know. I mean, the guy in the real life would look like that, but unfortunately,
you would just look at
it. But he comes to Geonosians and he wants to shut the program down. He's like, "Give me a reason why not to shut it down." They pull in, Clone Force 99, and they freaking tear that crap up, man. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, just off the wall doing their thing,
Is Tarkin's guy, the guy who originally played, is he still alive?
No, he's dead.
No, he's dead.
He's been dead, yeah.
They had to bring him back with CGI in Rogue One.
Yeah, I figured. But I mean, not to say that I know he's not he wasn't alive enough he could have been like a retired, I'm not coming back type
Yeah.
of thing. That's why I asked if he was still alive. But
no.
rest in peace. But yeah, he definitely has a little unique look.
Rest in peace. You are ugly as sin. But he was a good actor, but attractiveness may not be his best quality.
Well, here's the thing: is that he was such a good actor. I think that, like, it made you. Those actors that make a character look so good on the evil side, you make him don't like.
Because even when he was with Vader, he commanded the scene, bro. Like when he was with Vader, and he's like, "I told you, Vader," and like wow, like this dude's telling Vader what to do, and he don't care. Like.
It's Darth Vader.
The only reason why Tarkin had enough. Balls to say that was because literally the Emperor.
Of course.
Come on, like I never liked that. Like I knew the dynamic is like basically Tarkin and Vader or Tarkin maybe a little bit above Vader a little bit. But it was like, look, if the Emperor wasn't holding your hand, Vader would have taken you out.
I know.
Yeah.
Before he got in the suit, like
there is a book out there, and I really like this book. It shows. I think it's also a comic.
There's an insert. I read it. I know what you're talking about. I read I heard like over a video. It's like a excerpt from the book talking about how much he insulted Vader and stuff like that.
Well, not even that. There's this really interesting story about how Vader told Tarkin to hunt him. He's like, I want you to hunt me. I want you to essentially prove yourself to me.
So
Vader went. It was.
Yeah.
So Vader went on a planet and he told Tarkin to like get these guys like you should hunt me. And Tarkin. He did a pretty good job. Like he's a smart, cunning guy.
He's a tactician, dude.
He is a tactician.
He's not the Grand Moff for nothing, dude. He knows his stuff. He
knows what he's doing, and he almost got to Vader, but Vader got to a point. Essentially, what happened is Vader was killing everyone. Vader was doing a really good job, and not to like diminish Tarkin at all, but Vader was like wiping him out. But at the very end, Grand Moff Tarkin tricked Vader into stepping in some kind of lightning trap, and Vader got electrocuted, and he downed Vader, and he was about to say like, "Look, I can take you down," but Vader ended up choking him at the last second, like, no, I don't care. Like, even near death, I can still kill you. So it was essentially like, I respect you, you respect me, and that's why. So
did you like that Moff Tarkin was in the episode?
I liked it. I love his character, and I like the fact that we get that continuity continuation. I like that Dave Filoni's getting his continuity with his shows.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what we talked about. Like when we watched the show, like he doesn't make the universe smaller.
Yeah,
he makes it bigger, but with care. I don't know how he does it, man. But he does it really well, man. Like he's changing lore, of course. He's bending it to what he needs it to be, but it's still pretty cool, man. Like the way Kanan like gets like his master, that's all different than what happens in the comics. It looks totally different. It's a different scenario, but still I like it because it brings in Kanan, it brings in his master, it brings in the Bad Batch, and they're all going with the story that we all know, you know what I'm saying, and making it deeper,
Definitely.
I think the beginning of Bad Batch was a nice callback to Rebels.
Yeah,
very much.
Sure.
It was like the scene. It's what you needed and didn't know you needed. Like it was like you needed to see it because one of my I'm not gonna say favorite, but there's certain stuff in Rebels that stands out, and I remember when they met up with Rex and Wolf and whatever the other guy's name is, and you saw the hate from Kanan, and it's just like now you call back to like now you can see it as a young boy how terrified he was when Order 66 happened. Now that's all his running it through his mind during Rebels is like I saw my master get smoked.
Yeah, man.
And like now I'm looking at you, and now the trauma that I've had to live with. They don't got therapists in Star Wars, so it's like all the stuff that I've been running from, all these things, is like. So I mean, it's sad, but it was exciting, to start the Bad Batch off.
Especially if it's a kid that's like, you look up to these soldiers, like you're fighting alongside these guys. It's like, these are my people, and then they turn around and kill your master.
I also saw a little bit of Ezra inside of Kanan when the Bad Batch were like, he's like, I'm gonna roll with these guys. Like, we roll fast and hard. He's like, that's the only way I know how to do it. That's something that Ezra would say. Like, like he's the most like Padawans.
Like cheeky little kid. I'm gonna smack you right in the face.
A reflection of their masters. That's why they pair them with these people because that's they match their energy and their
you gotta mature them over time.
Yeah, but still, it was like
that's the only way I know. Into them.
Except for the voice was Freddie. He's like, that's the only way I know how. It was Freddie Fisk Jr.
My balls dropped a long time ago.
I remember I was watching with Zoe. She's like, "Daddy, how old is that guy?" I think he's like 10. He sounds like a grown man.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he does, doesn't he? It's kind of
Yeah, he couldn't even go down to a teenager. Just
I know.
Straight 25-year-old.
She was like, that sounds kind of weird.
Can I do this with your voice? Like, no, we're gonna do this in the man
like,
divorce.
like a pedophile trying to play a kid.
Oh my lord!
Oh my god.
That's the first sentence of that. Thank you, Brandon.
Oh my god. We're cutting that shit out.
No, I'm keeping that in. What are you talking about?
No, you have to keep that in.
That's so good.
I said what I said. He sound like a pedophile
good.
trying to entice kids.
I kind of want to keep it in.
We
It's so
we
funny.
100 in here. What'd you say earlier? Was it the one you turned?
Haymakers?
No, about the 100. What was it?
Huh?
Dollars or something?
Oh, I said keep it 100.
Keep it 100.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Keep it a C note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all our opinions. These are all our true opinions. I just try not to curse as much, and Ernesto doesn't care.
No offense.
I care, man. I just caught up in the moment, dog.
No.
He's passionate. No, you're
I'm
passionate.
passionate about this podcast.
No offense to the actor who played it. Just you could have paid somebody else.
Yeah, a child maybe.
They apparently
Anyone
paid a
child.
child to play to voice Omega. So I don't know where in the budget they forgot Kanan, but hey,
They forgot somewhere. They forgot.
I liked it, man. It was
I
good
just don't
storytelling.
understand when you have time to prep these things. Like, where's the thought process at?
I don't know. Look, even so, like I don't think it destroys anything for me.
No,
like
no,
you
it
still
doesn't.
like the character's still there.
He's
And
not
like
even
you said,
in there.
you
He's
saw
not
a little
in
bit
there
of
long
Ezra.
enough. He's not in there long enough.
I think it was they just had a chance to bring him in to do the voice. I was like, we know you sound like a 40-something-year-old man, but I think we can edit it and manipulate it to where you can sound like a kid, but it doesn't. It sounds just like Freddie Prinze Jr.
Forget manipulation. Hire a kid.
I know, man, but
It seems so simple. I don't know. A lot of these situations, I feel like Disney digs themselves a hole where they start one way and it's like, how do we get out of this hole? And they're like, it's the simplest solution. Just cast someone else.
No.
Just
dig deeper. If we dig, we'll go to the other side.
Eventually, we'll end up.
I don't.
Let us
here's
somewhere.
the deal. We could talk about what Disney coulda, shoulda, would have done.
Oh,
but
okay,
I don't really.
How long do you have? We can talk.
Really,
This will be like a 3-week-long podcast.
No, but seriously. But I don't trust Disney with a lot of Star Wars stuff. So
No.
the only person, there's two people who are literally they are putting the team on their back, and that's Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for those two, Star Wars would be a wreck right now. We'd probably be throwing microphones instead of talking in them.
Dude, imagine if The Mandalorian was bad. We would have no Star Wars.
Oh my God, the man was bad. I don't know how I could take that, man.
Here's the thing about
I'd be defeated.
You'd have
bro.
no sequels and no TV series.
Well, here's the thing about the Mandalorian had to be great.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be because you're bringing in a show with no Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're gonna do that, like Rogue One. Okay, you know what? Are we going back to that yet?
We'll get back to that in a minute.
Okay, we're not
there's
gonna go
something
back
about
to that.
Rogue One I want to talk about.
I mean, there might not be a Jedi, but Baby Yoda fills in the Force part.
He
not a
does,
Jedi.
but he's not a Jedi.
Does.
He's not a Jedi,
Okay.
but it's still Force sensitive.
Whatever. Sure, get around
We're
that.
already talking about Bad Batch, man. When did the Mandalorian die?
It's a good transition.
I'm not celebrating the Force part.
Okay. We can talk some Star Wars. We talk Star Wars all day long,
all
with
day,
you, brother. You know
all
what I'm
day.
saying?
But
That's why you're here.
But like seriously though, like I don't trust them.
You know,
I don't trust Disney with a whole lot of stuff.
For good reason.
But here's the problem. I don't know if I would have. I don't know. Like, cause I read some of the stuff that what's his name?
Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni,
J.J. Abrams,
Kathleen Kennedy,
the original creator of Star Wars,
George Lucas.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I'm
having a mind block, but I don't know if I would have been that big on what the direction that Lucas was going in either. So
yeah, I definitely can see that.
Because I read some of the stuff that he was going to do, I was like,
it's kind of iffy. It's very different. It's very interesting.
It was very different.
Doesn't mean it's gonna be
interesting.
good.
He was kind of going into the mystic part of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I really would have liked. I would have had to see that to understand what he was trying to do.
man.
It really demystifies like you said, it demystifies the Force a little bit.
It does. What the Eternals or something like whatever is it?
Something like that.
the
Like
midichlorians.
the all powerful
Yeah.
beings that like are over the Force.
Yeah.
Like that's what he was gonna.
Like he was
go
saying, he was
into.
going into like the microverse.
At least Disney kind of kept. The only thing I'll give Disney credit for, they kept Star Wars down to earth.
They did.
I feel like that would have gone kind of out of whack.
Where Disney messed up is when they took over freaking Lucasfilm and Disney Arts or whatever it's called. I mean, LucasArts, the novels, the games. What they messed up is like, you know what? All these stories that you guys grew up reading and loving, all this means now. What we write from now on is what's going to be. I mean, like, there's these stories were already written for them, dude.
Yeah.
All they had to do was take it and adapt it to a screenplay, and that's all they had to do.
Yeah.
I mean, story after movie after movie. I mean, there's so many movies out there they could do.
There's so many gaps. Like, they're starting to fill them in now, but it's like after begging.
Yeah.
Like Revan and Darth Bane.
So many
freaking
gaps.
even, Obi-Wan.
Revan is one of the most interesting stories out there.
You know what? And I'm going to look right into the camera and say this.
Do it.
Right here. Where they really messed up was Rian Johnson. You heard it here. Rian Johnson messed a lot of stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still mad at him.
Now, we can talk about Rian Johnson all day. I will give credit to where credit's due. I don't think it's necessarily Rian Johnson's direction. His direction is great. If you look at The Last Jedi as a movie, it's a beautiful movie. The biggest flaw when it comes to The Last Jedi, and really the whole sequels as a whole, is the writing. And the studio that let him do that. They didn't, because they were not interested in less necessarily creating a whole story. They were interested in well, no, let him do his thing. Is we're not interested in the whole narrative as a whole and giving these characters their due arcs. No, we want to make this its own individual thing, and that's what Rian Johnson wanted to do. He wasn't interested in making a continuation. He wanted to make his own movie, and that was selfish.
I'll give you this. I think that Rian Johnson, if they had that much confidence in Rian Johnson to do what he did, you have to give him his own thing. Because you can't, his problem with his movie was the placing. You're dead in the middle of a 3 movies, and you just completely screw up the whole timeline.
You ignored stories.
You ignored the whole story. You ignored The Force Awakens. What? You had to fill in those gaps, because those are the questions that we were coming in looking forward to. When the last time? I don't know. I was kind of young when some of the other movies came out. You were too.
Yeah.
You probably would be better suited to answer this question, but I want to know, what did Star Wars? Did the trailers ever look so good, and the movies come out as trash?
I don't remember.
I was
the trailers.
looking forward to The Last Jedi. I was hyped, and I watched it what is this?
Yeah. And people were also saying, people didn't like The Empire Strikes Back in the day. And my dad, when he heard that, is that is bull. That is not true. People actually loved The Empire Strikes Back in the day. It didn't, I'm sure there were some people who were really confused. It's wait, Darth Vader's Luke's father? Spoiler, I guess. You didn't know that.
Spoiler.
That's stupid. But anyway, people, I'm sure, would be confused and they want to ask questions. But Empire Strikes Back, I can rewatch that movie every day. It is such a great movie. And people back then who were around, remember that, said no, people loved The Empire Strikes Back. And nowadays, they try to compare that to Empire Strikes Back. It's not the same. This movie has its own problems.
Honestly, we talked about this earlier before Brandon got here.
Yeah.
I think if they would have made Duel of Fates instead of Rise of Skywalker,
oh my Lord,
it would have tied Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and that all together into
What exactly is Duel of Fates?
It is the movie that Colin Trevorrow was supposed to make.
Oh,
that was his movie, and then he quit, and then J.J. Abrams took over.
I forgot.
Tell
about
him some
Colin
of the stuff that
Trevorrow.
happens in that.
Man, I'm gonna go through it again.
Oh my god,
I forgot.
There's this whole thing on the internet.
I really totally forgot about Colin Trevorrow. I really did. That's true. I really had faith in J.J. Abrams to do. I think, like I said, Rise of Skywalker was fine, except, like I said, they missed their Marvel Avenger moment. They really could have brought the whole thing.
Well, they certainly tried.
No, they had a couple in Duel of Fates.
They
oh man, oh my god.
I mean,
God,
at the end where you heard all the voices, I was like, that's cute. But I visually wanted to see everything.
I would just Finn and Rose break into the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. How is that for a
Kylo Ren fights a ghost Vader. Luke Skywalker haunts Kylo Ren. Rey gets a double-bladed lightsaber, and she gets her eyes cut out. And the ghosts actually play an important part in the end of it. So much of that crap happens like in the third act, but it's such a more interesting story than what we got. I would encourage you to
wasn't
look
Anakin Skywalker's ghost supposed to come back into it?
He's in it.
He's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Force Ghost with what you call it, Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
So who forced him out? Kathleen Kennedy?
Kathleen Kennedy forced him out I think is partially because when
scared,
Leia
man.
died, or
not Leia. Oh my god.
The actor. Actress.
How have we forgotten?
Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher.
We are so sorry, Carrie Fisher. Please do not haunt us.
Please don't.
Should know this.
No.
We should know this.
I forgot Lucas, and you guys forgot Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
We're so bad Star Wars fans.
But we are. But yeah, I think it's partially because when she died, some of the story didn't necessarily fit, which there are workarounds. I don't care who says, there are workarounds.
There was a guy on the internet, I forgot his name, but he reads the 3 acts of that script that got released. And oh my God, does that movie sound so way better than Rise of Skywalker, and would have tied everything together. Like the Emperor is in the movie, but he's in a holocron. And what you call opens a holocron, and it projects his Force Ghost and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, he gets a new mask like Revan, dude, and they fight on the final battle is on Morbius, where the two force beings, the light and the dark, the girl and the guy, that planet, they fight on that planet, and that's where the final lightsaber scene is at. It's
such a better story.
Oh, dude, you gotta read that script reading, bro.
I need to read it.
I
heard there's a YouTuber. I think his name is Mike Zero or something like that.
Yeah.
He's kind of iffy on some stuff. He's predicted some good stuff, but he's also been wrong on a lot of stuff.
I feel like he's been wrong more than right.
Definitely.
To be honest with you, I don't know where he gets his information from, but the way he be making these movies sound before they came out, and then they're such a big disappointment.
Well, that's shock tactic. If you read his something like, wow, big news, holy shit.
He does it every day.
Yeah, it's like, and it's nothing. You're like, okay,
really
that's why it's not like
he has great thumbnails and what do you call it?
He's got clickbait.
Clickbait titles.
But Michael Meyer Burnett, he's on the John Campea show. He's the one that read those three acts, and they're about to release a comic book illustrating the script, and it's gonna be dope, dude.
I'm not a comic book guy. I've never been. Like, that's not my thing. I would have liked. I don't. Yeah, of course you're not gonna go back and do the movie, but I would have liked to see like a visual, like an animated maybe.
Yeah. No, they have concept art of all the stuff that all the.
I know that. I'm sure they have concept art.
Oh man, it was pretty sick.
I already know. They do concept art automatically whenever they do. It
was pretty badass.
I would like to see it on the visual characters moving.
Definitely. All right, I'm actually gonna have to get us back on topic because we just went way off topic. But anyway, Bad Batch, just to finish up, Bad Batch as a whole, Brandon, excited, obviously, both of y'all good to go.
Absolutely, man.
Can't wait
to see what happens, man.
Yeah.
And Rex is gonna be in it. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know who else is gonna be in it. I'm thinking maybe Ahsoka might show up. Yeah. So
no, Ahsoka's not gonna show up because she saw Rex for the first time for a long time in Rebels.
Okay. Well, then I don't know.
They're not gonna show up together.
Maybe Obi-Wan. Maybe Obi-Wan.
Maybe.
Wait a minute. Did in Rebels? I don't remember them specifically saying when they last saw each other.
That's true.
That is true.
And Filoni,
that is very true.
And
they were together last time.
I know.
And Filoni likes to change the way things are.
He does. But again, I give respect to Filoni. You haven't faulted us so far, and you're the best thing in Star Wars right now, next to Jon Favreau. So
we can't predict Filoni, so let's just sit back and enjoy the show.
Sit back and enjoy the show. It's a good show. We're all excited. It's going to be good. All right, next bit of news today. Gina Carano, and this is a rumor. Gina Carano may be returning.
So take it with a grain of salt.
With a big old grain of salt. Gina Carano may be returning to Star Wars. It's been reported by a few sources that Disney is in talks to bring her back in, possibly because Jon Favreau wrote that character specifically for her and said, hey, why did you do that? I kind of want her back. We kind of need her for the story. Her character is kind of integral to this whole crap. So a lot of people are saying that, and a lot of sources that have been reliable in the past and are saying that she might be coming back. And Gina Carano even tweeted on her Instagram saying, I don't remember the specific quote, but she said, what you've been praying for, it's coming soon. And we don't necessarily know what that is, but I assume that's Disney possibly bringing her back. So with that, what do you think, Brandon, about this stuff?
Well, the thing is, when you, like I said, when you originally sent me, because I knew she had said something, I kept up with enough Star Wars news to know that she got fired. I was really disappointed because obviously she was a big part of The Mandalorian, especially in the beginning when she first showed up, and then the very end with the all girl. That was pretty cool. But when you sent me what she said, my original response was what's wrong with this? I mean, honestly, I was like, what's wrong with this? And you had to tell me the context of what was said for me to understand what was going on. So speaking from an African American perspective, I understand what it means, the sensitivity in this generation. Everything is just kind of coming to a head.
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter. You have, the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
Caucasian white people. Kind of like, well, we're not our ancestors. Whatever the case is. And then Jews. They have their own thing because of the Holocaust and all that, right? So, all of those different things combined, I understand the sensitivity, but we're gonna have to stop this. Like, at some point, cancel culture, is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
I think it's getting out of hand. I think we need thicker skin in some areas.
Truly.
I understand if someone like being defensive if it comes to your livelihood and it comes to certain things that directly really, really affect your life. Like, you can't change someone's heart. If you believe they got a bad heart, well, in my viewpoint, you better pray for them.
Yeah.
I can't change anything. I'm now I can't let you know if you messed up, you messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But when it gets to the point where you got people losing their jobs and you got people doing this, doing that, I don't really, now, on the other hand, you have your business entity. You can't, you represent something.
Yeah.
So if it's to the point where you're a major brand within a bigger brand and you come out and it's something that makes you look, absolutely crazy, and it makes the brand you represent absolutely crazy, business is business. You have to do what you have to do. But when it comes to the point of like the oversensitive, you talk about the Jews, it talks about, I'm not going to say she was right. I'm not even going to say she was wrong. I'm just saying at the end of the day, like, we live in a country where we're supposed to have a freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So we can't if we start censoring people, are we any better than communists?
It's going to go down a wrong path real soon.
Real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that the sensitivity needs to chill out a little bit.
Definitely. I mean, you and me talked about this a while back. We know our opinions haven't changed on this. Like, both of us kind of disagree that she should have been fired in this instance. Like, I don't look, I agree. I completely agree with you. I think people today are way too sensitive and should seriously grow a freaking backbone. I think I understand the reasoning. Like, again, I think Disney's a privately owned company, but I think the reasons why they fired her are incredibly hypocritical, especially because Pedro Pascal did a similar tweet, which, again, he is allowed to express his opinion as well. That's a totally fine with him. He's allowed to express it, but he said something similar to that effect, but kind of opposite side. It doesn't feel right to me, and never has. Yes.
Well, what upsets me is that they're doing all this politically woke, stuff here in the States, but over in China they want to take Finn off the Force Awakens poster, because they don't want to see black people in Star Wars, but that's okay.
Yep.
That's what pisses me off, man. Like, if you're going to do it all the way across the board. Don't half-ass it. Don't do it just here in the States so you can save face, man. Because that's BS, bro.
Well, like I said, the other thing is that they one thing that affects me, kind of makes me mad, is that when stuff like this happens, they're quick to cater to certain races, and then we get put on the back burner. And that's where African Americans get upset, is because it's like, you guys are quick, when someone says something, Nazi comment, wow, that's like almost the end of your life. When you say something about such and such, whatever, you can name it. No, it's quick. It's quick to cancel them. But when it comes, like you said, when it comes to Finn, when it comes to other things in African Americans, they're quick to.
They're talking about they want to include transsexuals and homosexuals in the new Star Wars, but yet they cut gay kiss. I'm sorry, they cut the freaking gay kiss out of the Rise of Skywalker for China, because China doesn't want to see it. If you're really about this righteous cause that you claim, this crusade you want to be about, then be about it for real. Yeah. Don't just be about those dollars, because that means nothing then.
Look, let's not kid ourselves. Disney doesn't actually care. If you actually think Disney legitimately cares, you're a fool. Thing. Entirely. Like, Disney wants your freaking money, and he wants you to come to the theater, and they want to be part of the cool kids. Like, right now, like, the woke crap is, generally speaking, the cool kid way to go, and that's what a lot of companies are seeing, and that's what a lot of companies are branding.
I mean,
Disney sees that, and they're using that, as a marketing tool, and they're saying, look what we have. Like, we have this person in this role as this race, as this person. It goes like to a topic we'll be talking about later as the Superman thing, but they're using that, and it feels disingenuous and hypocritical.
Here's the thing. It's not just Disney though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. Like,
it's not
like I said,
like,
the woke thing is the thing that a lot of people see that as the cool kid thing.
Here's my annoyance last year, when BLM, Black Lives Matter, was a big thing, is because all these organizations, all these big companies were all of a sudden pro-black. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Where were you
before?
Where were you guys before?
Yeah.
Like, all the police brutality, this, that, and the third. Like, you guys weren't anywhere. If you spoke it, you could be fired. Like, that's real stuff. So now all of a sudden, like, it's a popular thing. Now Black Lives Matter is plastered on the streets, on the walls, this, that, and the third. And now all of a sudden, oh yeah, BLM.
Yeah.
Nah, it's fake. It's fake energy. But that's why I said earlier, it's a business. And,
it is.
And business doesn't care about your feelings, unfortunately, and some ways fortunately, because money and feelings don't really mix a whole lot.
Yeah.
So.
And the only thing and the true fans are what suffer, man. Like the fans are suffering from this BS, man. We're not gonna get good original content. We're not gonna get people that are creative because they're the best creative mind. They're gonna get it because they're writing this crap that well, I'm not gonna say crap. I'm sorry, but this stuff that they think some people want to hear. But the majority of those people don't even care about Star Wars, man.
Exactly.
The majority of people don't care about Marvel. They don't care about DC. They're just
Exactly.
This old man told me a long time ago, man, don't start no shit, won't be no shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it is, man.
Yeah. If you look at Gina, like, as a person, I've seen some interviews with Gina Carano. She did an interview with the Daily Wire Ben Shapiro thing a while back because after she got fired. She seems like such a sweet and kind person. And even what she was talking about with Pedro Pascal, like all these other people, like she seems a very sweet person. Now I've never met her in real life, so I don't know. But it seems like from the cast and crew and her interviews behind the scenes with Disney and her talking to the cast, she seems like such a sweet person. And I will give credit where Jon Favreau is concerned. He cast this story specifically for people that he wanted. He cast Bill Burr in this, man. Bill Burr's in Star Wars.
And he's getting crap for supporting her, man.
I know. He cast her there for a reason. I want Gina Carano to play this character. I wrote this specifically for her. The same thing with Bill Burr. I wrote this specifically for him. And he knew what he wanted, and he had the people that he wanted to play it as. And now Disney's saying oh no, they don't meet our standards.
Well, she comes back. I think it's a big win for everybody.
It would be, but
because her character is awesome. She, you know what?
She's
like
awesome.
Brandon said, you should be able to say. I mean, unless you're spreading hate and violence,
Real hate.
then you need to shut up. But if you're just talking how you feel about things, and
sorry, there's a storm brewing in the background.
I mean,
it's because
she literally was speaking about people hating someone for their political views.
Yeah.
That's it. It wasn't even really meant for what she was saying. She wasn't talking about the Jews. She was just talking about in general. Her post was an example for what it meant to dislike or hate someone for their political views and then coming after them because you don't like what they have to say. Look, that's why I said at the end of the day, we live in a country where we're supposed to have free speech. And we start censoring people who are saying, well, you have this viewpoint, you need to shut up because it doesn't align with my feelings. And at that point, we're gonna start going into where these other countries in the past, the countries that we fought, we're gonna become like them.
Yeah. And wow,
and I'm
storm.
not
holy shit.
I am not a Democrat. I am not a Republican. I'm a straight independent. But one thing that I always say, because first of all, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian first, is that God gave us free will. He gave us free will. So look, I know people don't, not everybody's gonna align with that view, but sometimes I really just be like, let God handle it, because He knows our hearts, He knows where we come from, He knows what we believe in, He knows all of that. And I don't, a lot of people say karma. I don't believe karma's not a biblical thing, but at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that let people have their stuff. Because we're not supposed to be worried about too much about what people think. If it's not affecting your livelihood, if it's not affecting what you do on a daily basis,
let it be.
Let it be.
Please. And that's what Like, I'm not gonna get too political, but like that's what America was supposed to be there for. Like, if it, like, you can have, like, we all disagree on so many things in this room, but
so many things,
so many things.
So many
like, if, like a specific,
I don't even know.
So
like a
many
specific
things.
Rogue One example.
Oh.
But again, like,
Where's
we
Rogue
can
One,
have,
anyway?
it got on my face. We'll talk about that later. But again, like,
Trash.
we can have those civilized discussions and like talk about it and not be angry at each other at the end of the day. That's something that's should be cherished. Like, the ability to disagree on so many things, but the ability to sit down with someone who disagrees with you and say, hey, let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation.
And to be honest with you, sorry, just one thing, I've had trouble with that before because sometimes I don't really like hearing people's opinions sometimes, but sometimes I would rather, like, just like I'll use Facebook for an example. I might even post this, who knows? Like, real talk. I would rather delete your comment than sit back and argue with you. Because I've gotten to the point where I've had people say stuff, I'm like, delete.
Yeah.
And they'll be in my inbox, oh, you don't want to argue this, that, and the third. I said, because I promise you, once we start, I'm not stopping. And
that's
by
a
the end of this debate, you're probably gonna hate me. So, and I don't have enough time. I gotta be at the gym in 30 minutes. Like, I'm not about to. I'm relentless when it comes to stuff with something I'm passionate about. Yeah. So it's like you gotta know. I mean, you have to know. Like, okay, if you know you don't want to hear something, like, don't be afraid to just, walk away from it. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. Now we got to sit back and bring knives to a gunfight and then act like we're doing something.
Guns to a gunfight.
I mean, whatever. Making it personal. People are attacking each other's backgrounds, hitting below the belt. Like, learn when to walk away. Who has time for that too? Like, sometimes people say manning up. Manning up doesn't mean get into a contest to see, No. I'm not even going to say what I want to say, but...
Mine's larger than yours.
Yes, no, mine a big no.
My Schmied.
Well, I hope she comes back, man, because it's good for everybody.
Yeah,
except for the naysayers, it's not good for those guys. But we don't care what the naysayers say.
Like, if you disagree, is like, again, you can have the opinion, but you're wrong. Look, if she does come back, there needs to be some kind of public apology from Disney.
Absolutely,
it's like, we were wrong. You need to say that, Disney. Seriously. And like, it's not necessarily the same thing as James Gunn. Like, this is a little, because this is so disrespectful the way they fired her. She didn't figure out by someone telling her, a Disney executive saying, "Hey, you're fired."
She went on
Instagram. She went on Instagram, and it's like, "Oh, I'm fired, I guess."
Same thing with Ray Fisher, Cyborg. You found out the same.
Freaking
poor guy, poor her. But yeah, she comes back, rock and roll, baby.
I will support that. That's awesome.
It's monumental if she comes back, man. That means that
it's so great
that they'll start letting people be people, man, and just move on with their lives.
I don't know if they're going to start. I don't think Disney's going to change. Like, it's not going to change.
Man.
They do need to change, but they're not going to.
That's true. I don't know. If people stop investing, then they'll change.
That's true. I'll stop paying for Disney. I don't even pay. I mooch off you.
Yeah.
All right. Next topic of the day. There's a new Marvel trailer that came out as a recent Marvel trailer for the past trailer. But anyway, it showed like the new movies that are going to be coming out. Eternals, Doctor Strange. I almost said Bad
Thor,
Batch
Love
again.
and Thunder.
Thor, Love and Thunder. Essentially like the list of movies that are going to be coming out for Marvel in the next few months. And there's also another trailer that came out, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, but we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, they essentially had a list of, and a few clips of their movies. So what was the initial reaction to that? Because we all watched that right before we did the podcast. Together again. We held hands while we did it.
What do you think, Brandon? We held hands?
No, we did not.
And whistled.
no, we did not. I think, they're not going to be able to beat Phase 3.
No way. They can't.
It's not happening.
There's never going to be an Avengers Assemble moment again.
No.
I don't know, man.
It's just one of those historic, like, movie moments. Like, you just can't beat it, and you can't, like, they're going to have to create their own thing, and that's going to be hard because you still have characters from Phase 3 in there, so you don't have, and then on top of that, not even just the fact that they're from Phase 3, it's just the fact that they've been around for 60 years. Like, everybody's character, Thor, Iron Man, all these characters have been around.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be hard. I don't really want to speak on how great I think their movies are gonna be. I think I'm just gonna have to see them for themselves. There's a few. I'm looking forward to Black Widow. I think I'm surprised they didn't tell her story in the phase. And now she's dead. So it's like,
yeah. I guess we're gonna give you your solo movie now.
I would actually. The only thing that could top Phase 3 was if they brought I'm sorry. Yeah, phase 3 is if they somehow manage to go like they have the time travel element in there. So if they ever decided to go back and grab somebody, I know what's his name, Tony Stark,
Robert Downey Jr.
Yes, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh man,
said somebody asked him about coming back, and he was like,
"Let him
never
die.
say never.
Let him die."
Well, I'm only dreaming in this moment, but all I'm saying is that I'll just have to see. I'm gonna have to get away from phase 3 and see what and judge them based off their own movies. You know,
I can see that. Ernesto?
Well, I wouldn't say just phase 3. I would say the whole Infinity Saga together, because I mean, you wouldn't have phase 3 if you have 1 and 2, but he's right. It's gonna be hard to get that magic back again. You know what I'm saying? And
I feel like in some way Kevin Feige knows it's impossible.
But I mean, it doesn't have to be as good. It just has to, I mean, it just has to be good. Like it doesn't have to be, Star Wars, the sequel trilogy. It can still be okay. I don't know. We're still starting out. The TV shows are moving slowly, but I am hyped for these movies, man. Like I really want to see I mean, we're gonna get like 3 Marvel movies in the next 6 months. I don't, because of COVID-19. We're still going. We got plenty of battery.
For some reason, I just now realized that there's a liquor bottle right in front of the camera. Is is that blocking somebody?
Nope.
I'm realizing this 15 minutes into the recording, whatever.
But no, man. I mean, I want to. They've had like a year and a half to really dig in deep and see where they're gonna go with this, man. And I mean, they might have the same magic, but I'm still kind of excited, man. To see. Yeah. Especially, I want to see Volume 3, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my gosh.
And Thor: Love and Thunder, man. And absolutely Wakanda Forever, because I want to see what they're gonna do without Chadwick Boseman. Who's gonna be Black Panther? They're gonna recast him. We don't know yet. Well, we don't know yet what they're gonna do. They're talking about recast. We don't know. And then
I hope they don't recast him.
They better not.
They better not.
But I mean, he was an awesome character just to have him die, man.
Yeah. But I think that it's the same thing with Iron Man. It's the same thing with Captain America. You can't recast Black Panther like that. He didn't get his 6 movies though, man. He only got 1. Maybe he got 3, but I think you can recast. I think you'd want to recast him, dude. I don't know.
It's too early to it's too early to write him out already, dude.
That's gonna be some heavy shoes to fill in.
It is. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying it totally is.
Heavy.
But I'm saying T'Challa's such an awesome character. Why would you kill him now? I mean, I don't think that. I think you.
I don't think you should, but I don't think they have a choice.
I don't
know if they have a choice. I don't. I want to see Black Panther. Unfortunately, the only Black Panther I acknowledge.
It's not here. I know, man.
It's Chadwick Boseman. So I look forward to seeing what they're gonna do. And I don't know if I mind either one, but I had percentage wise, I'm way over the fact that they definitely don't need to recast them. I think from a legacy standpoint. That's just me.
They have 2 options that could be really good, and I don't know about the second option because I kind of like the second option, but I think Shuri would be pretty good.
M'Baku.
But M'Baku, I love M'Baku.
M'Baku.
The one scene, the 2 scenes he had, he had 2 really great scenes in Black Panther. The fight scene, obviously, but the next scene where they came in and the mother and the girlfriend, they all came in, and he's like, "Are you done?" And then he's talk about feeding to my kids. I'm just kidding. I'm vegetarian.
I liked him in Infinity War.
That emotional moment, he just ruins it. It was funny.
I love M'Baku.
No, I liked him in Infinity War where he gets out. He's already got his men there.
Oh my gosh!
Already chanting and getting them hyped. And then T'Challa comes out. T'Challa, he's like, "Thank you for coming." He's like, "Anytime, brother. I'm here for you."
Even him smashing an alien.
I could see if he became Black Panther, that would be dope. That would be pretty cool.
I think it was when he came out and beating the heck out of Black Panther. I was like,
because he won the fight. I mean, Chadwick Boseman, he thought his way out of it. Technically speaking, he won.
He did.
But M'Baku was beating his butt.
He was, man.
Some of these movies really need to stop making their main character look bad because it's getting to the point where we're sitting over here as fans debating about who really won this fight. Yeah. we know from a Hollywood standpoint who won it, but who really won this fight?
It's like Godzilla. It's like Godzilla versus Kong. All the Kong people's like, well, Kong did this. Kong did like, no, Godzilla whooped your butt. He smacked you.
And at the end,
get your hand out of my camera.
At the end of the trailer, you see the 4. I'm excited for that. The 4, the Fantastic Four. Yeah. I want to see what they're gonna do with that, man. Because I guarantee you, they've already got their people cast already. It's Krasinski, dude.
My only problem with the 4, is the one that I grew up with was not very good.
No, they've never been good. They've never made a good movie.
Never been good. Like even one, there was 2 of them, right?
There's 2 movies, and then they did a recent one, Fan 4 Stick. That's not what that's called, but everyone makes fun of it.
Fan what?
Fan 4 Stick.
I didn't like
Fan 4
that.
It's how they made the logo. They made the 4 in between Fantastic, which made it look like Fan 4 Stick, and everyone calls it Fan 4 Stick now. But it was also a terrible movie. So they never made a good
Sounds like
Fantastic
a toy
Four.
instead of a movie.
It does.
It does. Yeah.
It's like a Bionicle or something. Those of you who are old enough to remember Bionicle, does
get to see
know who Bionicle is?
Yeah, it's just a Lego toy, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like Connects and Legos combined.
Connecting Legos combined. Yeah, I know.
I'm so happy people know who that is.
I'm 26, Jacob, not 2.
Oh. All right, cool. Now I know.
I remember the commercials. Yeah.
It was fun. Bionicle was the best, man.
I wasn't that type of kid.
So what movies you look forward to seeing?
I was outside.
Say again?
What movies you look forward to seeing? I mean, did this trailer excite you or not? Or
Oh, it did, and I really liked at the very beginning where it showed like all of those movies and where it led up to Infinity War. And I agree, like they're never going to be able to recreate that, but it's Marvel; they're going to continue. So like, I get it. We are always going to have our Phase 1 through Phase 4, or Phase 3, and then always get to that end game. We'll always have that. But it's interesting to see them continue. Now you know I haven't been a huge fan of WandaVision, and I liked Falcon and Winter Soldier or Captain America and Winter Soldier, whatever. I like that better. But again, I don't think it's lived up to what it should have been. Right. But I am very interested in Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm very interested in Eternals, sort of. And I'm very interested in Thor Love.
No idea what Eternals is about.
I don't know too much either. I know Angelina Jolie's in it, and I know she has a sword, and I know other people
Salma Hayek is riding a horse. Her
Yeah.
looking sexy doing it.
Angela Jolie with those big old lips and on the Eternals.
Yes.
Are you serious? She had that sword. She
Yep.
was like,
No, I didn't recognize.
That's why she left Brad Pitt to be on the Eternals.
that's right. Damn, Brad.
awkward moment. Anyway,
But
divorce papers written all over it.
Yep, all the time. That's what Hollywood is. It's just a bunch of divorced people walking around.
Yeah, and movies still together.
Yes.
And also,
Mr. and
like,
Mrs. Smith.
it shows that
Oh,
they're
man.
still sticking with the story going forward.
It does.
They're not rebooting.
Yeah.
They're not revamping. Like, well, kind of a little bit with new Captain America, but
Yeah.
still, I think.
Well, that's a natural progression. And then there's Captain America.
But I'm saying they're not
or-
doing the DC thing. They're not
Yeah.
pressing the restart button and going all over. They're still sticking with who they have.
Exactly.
So
I haven't gotten your opinion on WandaVision and the Falcon.
oh
and
man,
Soldier.
where do we start?
Oh, upon WandaVision, I thought it had a really good premise, and I thought it had a really good idea to start off something new. But I feel like the ending of that show just reverted back to old Marvel standards, to where the good guys were just throwing like their magical powers at a bad guy, and that's what it reverted to. It didn't. It started off as a story that was going to talk about grief and talk about maturing from your grief into something more mature, something better.
I thought she did.
And she did, and I think she did, but I feel like it was kind of sidelined to like the big bad guy, which they didn't need. She was the bad guy. They should have just kept her the bad guy, but no, they needed to add some other bad guy. So I felt like
They need to have a real bad guy.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, she wasn't. You know what I loved about WandaVision? They kept you guessing week to week, like what was going to happen. Like you just had no clue, and I loved that. I couldn't wait every Friday for WandaVision to come out. Now the first 2 episodes, I was like, "What the heck is this?"
Nonsense.
I'm not a sitcom type of guy. Like all the black and white crap. I was like, what are they doing? And then when they started adding the extra element, this is an actual TV show, or when you started noticing like the kids coming in, they're growing up every 2 seconds. Like it was like, okay,
what's going on?
What's really going on? But I like WandaVision. I wasn't really sure exactly what it sets up. I'm sure we'll figure that out in Phase 4.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see about that. What's your opinion about Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Falcon and Winter Soldier I did like more, but I felt like it was, again, a little more
Too
generic.
short to me, but anyway.
It was pretty short.
6 episodes.
Yeah, it was pretty short.
I didn't really like
I
that.
liked the fact that it knew what it was a little more than WandaVision, I think. Because where WandaVision, I don't think necessarily stuck to its premise.
You don't think it stuck to an identity?
I don't think it stuck to an identity. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier stuck to its identity a little more.
Okay.
Now, I feel like at the I did not like the finale, and I feel like at the finale it got a little... Where I understood where it was coming from, I feel like it got a little too preachy at the ending. I feel like there were story arcs that never got resolved. with what was it? And they made what's his face, the good guy. I thought bad Captain America. What's his name?
Oh, John Walker.
Yeah, they made him the good
John
guy. It's
Walker.
like, what are you doing? Like, he's not supposed to be the good guy. Like, why did you do that? And I didn't like Flag Smashers at all. Like,
Well,
I get what
you said at the beginning they made him a good guy.
no, like the beginning. John Walker, like they started him as the good guy, and then they progressively like started to show like his turn. It's like, this is an interesting arc. Like, this is an interesting villain, and then they just kind of made him the good guy in the ending, which I didn't
So
understand.
is John Walker supposed? Who is he?
John Walker. Oh, have you not seen Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I have.
Oh,
But I'm talking about what is he turning? Like he turned into a bad guy, and now he's obviously working for some shady, sketchy people.
Yeah.
Who is he actually going to end up being?
He's gonna be the U.S. agent.
yeah.
He's actually supposed to be the U.S. agent, but in this they made him Captain America, and then
he turns
into the U.S.
agent.
agent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I didn't know. When he came in as the next Captain America, I don't know who else was pissed off, but I was.
Oh my gosh, I want to punch that guy.
I was like, no, please.
You don't do
no.
this.
You don't do this. And then I'm still not sure about the element of, I know Sam was going to his comfort zone. He combined his thing,
Yeah.
be you and be Captain America at the same
Yeah.
time. And I don't know if I understood, because I thought his sudden transition and wanting to be Captain America was a little weird to me. That was the only thing that kind of made me like, okay, like what made you just suddenly want to be Captain America now? Like, where was this energy 2 episodes ago?
Yeah,
Like, I thought there
weird.
were better points where they could have made that transition better.
Yeah.
I'm not a movie writer. I can't really pinpoint, where.
Yeah.
But just something about the feel didn't go
Yeah.
right with me. But I was excited about that show. I was more excited. I mean, to be honest with you, WandaVision, I think, created more hype than Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I think so.
It
Because
was
I didn't really like you can always gauge the hype of stuff when you go on social media.
Also,
Yeah.
man, we haven't had anything Marvel in like over a year.
Yeah.
That was the first Marvel we've had, so of course it's gonna be really hyped.
But
Everyone,
I don't
their
think
last
I don't
movie
think
was
it-
Endgame, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think it was because of that though.
You think so?
The only reason why I say that is because WandaVision easily could have been terrible.
Yeah.
Like it
could've.
started off to me terrible. It started off was like, but they made it like that on purpose
Yeah.
to keep us going. And so I thought the story how it progressed. Like, you go on Twitter, people are going bananas over this. Like, what's gonna happen next? All these theories are popping out.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
stuff that you only see from movies.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't think it was really like a Marvel thing. I think now I will say, to your point though, I think that they added to the hype that Marvel created by being quiet for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do think that WandaVision works way better as like a hype train. Like
Yes.
the story as it progressed, like you ask a lot of questions, and I think it did that well. But I just don't think it stuck the ending. Yeah. I think even though Falcon and Winter Soldier isn't like a super complex story, I think it stuck to what it was more. And I think at the end, I think I'd rather watch Falcon and Winter Soldier again than WandaVision. I
So
don't have
you-
a desire to watch that.
You
again.
more hyped to see these movies, or you more hyped for the shows?
Movies, so much movies. Again,
So where does because I haven't seen anything in any movies with Sam and Captain America. I don't see any Captain America movies coming out in Phase 4. So, like, where do you guys see them fitting him in these movies?
I don't know. Maybe in the next Avengers movie.
you can't just leave it as a show.
No,
yeah,
I
because
think
he's Captain America
I
now.
think he's gonna be
Yeah.
in the next Avengers team up for sure.
Yeah.
So I didn't see any Avengers team up
we
movies.
don't.
I don't know. I don't know where he's gonna fit in.
That's
Now
what I'm
that you
saying.
say it,
So
I don't know.
What are you gonna leave him alone? You gonna leave this character alone for a whole decade?
No,
Like,
Because isn't he's supposed to be the kind of the leader now? He's
Well,
Captain America. He's like,
wait a minute. So they announced all the movies up until 2023, right?
Right.
yeah,
So that means
Maybe 24, 20.
the next 7 years are still up for grabs.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they kind of.
I think
don't
team
know
up
why.
first.
I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that.
I think team up first, and then maybe his next movie.
Possibly.
But man, that's a long time to wait because it's like you said,
4 years.
that's 4
Yeah.
years
We
until
don't have an Avengers
and
movie
then
coming
into
soon.
development and then production.
Yeah,
and
they had
another year.
They got to create, and then all these other movies are going to create. Obviously they're going to all come together, so they got to create these story arcs with these other characters in these movies. So hopefully they do a good job.
Maybe
Yeah.
cameos in the movie.
He probably should.
Yeah,
Wanda's going to be in.
Interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, WandaVision is going to be in WandaVision. Wanda is going to be in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So he's got to be like she is. Like she's going to be alongside Benedict Cumberbatch. So
and Guardians are going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
they're good with the cameo stuff. So maybe he's cameoing in something. I don't think he's going to cameo on Black Widow. Actually, no, he might.
And I think Gunn's going to introduce some new characters in freaking whatchamacallit in Guardians 3.
Yeah.
Like I think he's going to do what's that name? Sentinel or something like that. I forgot. That being that's in that pod, that gold chick.
Oh,
is
Adam.
Oh, Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
That's it. Adam Warlock. My bad. So it might be a whole nother set of people, man. I don't know, man. And then the Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
So
John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, hopefully.
Who plays Johnny Storm?
I have a question. Do you guys think that little boy from Iron Man, what was it, 3?
No, he's out. I don't think they're going to bring him back.
You don't think they're going to bring him back?
No, probably not.
Probably not.
I think the last time we saw him was going to be Endgame. That was more like, hey, remember this? That was cool.
That was
brief moment. That was cool.
I mean, that kid was good for what he was, but we don't need more.
We'll see how Black Widow comes out and see.
Yeah.
Hey,
that was good, Mr.
This is just me with my imagination question. Would you guys like to see how Captain America's life actually played out
Absolutely.
after he went back in time?
Absolutely.
I would love to see
I would love to see that.
Sitcom of Captain America.
No, because
that'd be a great show.
Because Peggy Carter's she a baddie, bro. She
is.
Have you ever seen her show?
Mm-hmm. I know. That's not true. I've seen
her
parts
show.
Of it.
She was badass on her show. Like to see her and Steve like team up and do something like in the 40s and 50s and create SHIELD. That'd be kind of cool, man.
Well, I also kind of just want to see them like settle down and
That'd
like kind of
cool
create a
too.
life together.
That'd be cool.
I want to see the life. Have some kids.
Yeah,
truly.
Then also kicking butt on the side.
Like see him work at a department store trying to sell like washers and dryers, like stoves and stuff.
After he's used to 2020, like
this is
Captain America in 2020.
But he'd be more in his element there because in 2020 he doesn't fit in. He's the man out of age. There he's gonna fit in. There he knows the music. He knows the customs.
He still has some years. He had about roughly 10 years.
He's
in
like,
the new
I
age.
missed it.
Yeah.
It only takes 21 days to create a habit.
Or you can say, he's in front of the stove. He's like, I really wish I had a microwave right now. Or
real talk.
where's my smartphone when I need it? Or Lexa. Oh, that's right. I'm in the 50s.
They're sitting here talking about like all the stuff that now he's like sitting there talking about in 2010 they're gonna have what they're gonna call a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like all this.
It'd be weird explaining that to her.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
Hey, what about if Captain America goes and buys stock in McDonald's and becomes a billionaire?
He should know now.
No,
he pulls some real back to it. He goes and invests in Apple or something like that.
I'm forgetting the movies, but there's movies. I think what was it? Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
Like when they went back and like all the stuff that they knew was coming out, they went and created it.
If anything, Captain America should take consensus from Hot Tub Time Machine.
He wouldn't do that.
They come back and like, oh
my gosh,
he was the president. What? Oh yeah, he knew all the politics before they even came.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what to do.
He would bet on all the Yankee games. He knows they're gonna win, so he'd make some money.
Look, that'd probably be my number one thing is going back and gambling on sports.
Yeah,
that might be my number one thing.
All right, Biff.
That's why he went back in time. He didn't go back to marry Peggy Carter. He went back to bet on sports. He went back to get rich.
I bet on every NBA team, every NFL team, every Major League Baseball team, every World Series, every game. Period.
Yeah. Look, after fighting Thanos, you deserve it. Do whatever you want.
I'd go back and take out a huge loan from the mafia and put it all on the New England Patriots to beat the St. Louis Rams in the Super Bowl.
You'd be the best friends with the mafia for life.
That's a great question. Does he go back and like prevent like big stuff like 9/11? Does he go back and do that?
He just goes back and does his thing, dude. He's an old man by 9/11.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's old.
What's he gonna do, dog?
Yeah, he looks like Joe Biden.
Yeah, he does. I'm sorry, that was low.
Okay.
Oh man, that was
a haymaker.
That was
a
haymaker
right there. Oh god, yeah, that's Joe Biden.
He gives him the shield like, here, the thing. Here you go.
What's it
Here's
called?
The shield.
A shield.
A shield.
A shield.
Used to protect.
I chose
stuff.
you.
Take advantage while you can. He does look like him.
Okay.
All right. Last topic.
Everyone's kind of hyped for the new movies, or what?
Yeah, sufficiently. Good old boy.
I'm solid on them. I'm gonna wait till they come out.
Yeah,
I want to see them.
Yeah. Venom Let There Be Carnage came out, directed by Andy the Man Serkis, also known as Gollum, and still stars Tom Hardy and the lovable Venom in the role.
I thought you were going to do your voice.
Depresses.
Oh, God, here we go.
It terms Tom Hardy as Venom in the role.
Tom Hardy.
I don't know what voiceover you're doing, but
Precious!
you need to get paid for it.
That's
Her
pretty good.
case.
I'm not doing that the whole time.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, you might lose your voice doing that.
I will. I'm talking about the next day talking like this and talking like a crack addict. Anyway, Nick, it came out. It has pretty much the same tone as the original Venom, but I don't know. Like, quick opinion on the old Venom movie. I love that movie. I know it doesn't get a great critical rating. I love that movie. I do not care what anyone says. That movie's golden. It has a great chemistry between Venom, a weird symbiotic weirdo, and Eddie Brock. That alone makes the whole movie. Like, the movie itself would be kind of okay, but with that, it makes it hilarious. And Venom is just kind of a goofball. Would you never think that this character would be a goofball?
Yeah.
But they make him a goofball and it works. And I think they're continuing that in this movie. Clearly, obviously, in the very opening where he's making Eddie Brock breakfast and here you go, yum yum. It's hilarious.
Ketchup.
Yeah, I probably want to barf at that breakfast part. But anyway,
it looks so fun. It looks like they're continuing the tone perfectly. But this one will be rated R because of Carnage. And it has confirmed that this movie is going to be rated R.
What?
Yeah.
Shut up. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. That's wild.
What?
Actually, I may be wrong. Give me one second. Y'all start talking. I'm going to look myself up. I actually may be wrong.
He's wrong.
On
What
this.
do you think?
I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. Get out of my face. What if I'm right?
I think he's wrong.
I think the first Venom, I love the first Venom. I watched it probably about 3 times. Yeah. I have it on my iPad. I really like that movie. I thought Eddie Brock, the whole dynamic of that character. I didn't really say this earlier, but I was kind of hoping, like, is he gonna get back with old girl? Like, I'm thinking
they showed her for a second, though.
Yeah,
right?
they showed her for a second, but they didn't really. You didn't really hear.
Okay, so it hasn't been rated yet, but they're saying Venom: Let There Be Carnage rating what producers said about the possible R rating. So it looks like it's possibly going to be rated R.
Rated PG-13.
Shut up.
They just say that it's PG.
Hey,
This
film
has not yet.
Dream.
No, man. The first one was PG-13.
Can you imagine Carnage in a rated R movie? Carnage.
I could.
My
but
goodness.
This is gonna be PG-13.
Is it about Carnage, or are you trying to see pornographic images?
What?
He wants to see gore and blood.
I want to say, like, dude, if you don't know anything about Carnage, Carnage is probably the most brutal villain in all comics.
He wants to hear the F word a lot.
Evil, and the F word a lot.
At least 3 times.
At least 3 times to make it like it's essentially like the Snyder Cut R rating.
PG-14.
There's a little blood
PG-14?
and like it's PG-14.
PG-15.
This is where my
PG-14.
non-comic, like, I'm not a comic person. I don't even know who. Look, my thing with like Venom is
sorry.
My thing with Venom is I don't know anything about Carnage, and I didn't know very much about Venom either. So like my first initials like. Venom just seemed like an evil. I thought he was an evil character. I didn't know that he was actually doing good.
No, he's an evil character. He's a bad guy.
He's supposed to be evil, but in this one, he's kind of portrayed as an anti-hero.
That's what I'm saying. Like anti-hero, but he's a hero still. So it's like weird. But the storyline, everything, Eddie Brock taken down. I was gonna bring this up, but one of the first things that always come to my mind with the Venom movie is when the evil Indian dude or whatnot was he used a biblical story to talk about what he was his plan. I was just like, you devil. Anyway,
you devil.
Yeah, you just like that was iffy to me. But I like Venom. I'm looking forward to this movie though. I may not know anything about Carnage, but I am looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do with Venom. That breakfast was terrible, but.
I didn't like the first Venom. I didn't like it at all, man. But
you didn't like the first Venom?
No, I didn't. Because it was missing the most.
You're like him with Rogue One, anyway.
No, it's missing
Except
the
Rogue One's a
it's
good
missing
movie.
the most essential element for this universe is Spider-Man. He's a Spider-Man villain without Spider-Man. Yeah. So to me, it's missing that. I mean, I respect it. I watched it. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was. I thought I gave it like a 7 or a 6. But this one I am looking forward to because Andy Serkis is directing.
Yeah.
And he's an amazing director. He's only directed a couple things, but he's been the second unit director on a lot of movies.
Yeah, The Hobbit.
And just to see him take a movie like this and do his own thing, and also, freaking Woody Harrelson looks awesome as Carnage, man.
Oh yeah,
he looks so psychotic,
I'm
man.
You're gonna recognize Woody Harrelson is from White Man Can't Jump, but
Billy Ho.
Man, you really hope. That's where I know Woody Harrelson from.
But I mean, the sequel's not going to be the same as the first. And I mean, when he walks in the store, he's talking to Miss Chang, and Vince's like, "Hello, Miss Chang," or whatever. He's, I'm digging that, man. And like I said, they didn't just make him like a suit that he puts on and puts off. Venom is actually has a personality. He's inside Eddie. He talks to him. He's a part of his life, and he's got to cope with having him inside of him. So that's going to be a
hilarious
new aspect of the show. I'm looking forward to it. I'll watch it, dude. I'll give it a chance, man. I mean,
definitely.
Like I said, I didn't like it a lot, but I didn't hate it at all either. There's some things I did like Venom looks way better than he did in the Spider-Man movie.
Definitely. And
he sounds cool, and just when he opens his mouth and those teeth come out,
it's freaky.
It's freaking rock and roll, man. So.
I thought the comedic value in the first Venom was extremely important. I think it was, like you said, having the element of Venom and Eddie Brock kind of being separate people, and then coming out, having a little funny moments, making breakfast.
Also, I think like Tom Hardy plays too much of a scary guy. Like he's like timid and shaking. In the comic, like Eddie Brock is like confident alpha, like sure of himself. Like when he's in a room, he owns it.
I think he's like that now.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't feel that. I don't
think
get
when
that.
you have an alien
living in your
living in your body. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the type of disease you can't cure. So. Well, let me.
You think COVID
that.
was bad?
Let me not say that because Venom got mad when he said.
What is that?
But you remember when Venom got mad in the movie about him calling Eddie Brock called him a disease or somebody called him a disease and he got mad and started going off.
Take that back.
Eddie. Take that back. Yeah, that's yeah.
No, I like in the trailer where she's like, "Oh yeah, we didn't have the chocolate shipment." He's like, "What?" Like,
I will eat Miss Chang.
Yeah, I will eat Miss Chang right now. So yeah, I want to see it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing it, man.
Venom's voice, just real quick before you say, Venom's voice. I don't know. This might be a bad comparison, but I feel like he sounds like an ultra jock, like an ultra meathead. Like it's like someone who just
kinda
like not smart, but he's like walks around. Like that's how
swirly, swirly time, nerd.
Oh, who was the wrestler on the first Spider-Man movie? The one that he fought. What's his name?
No, he's dead.
I know he's dead, but what's his name?
Macho Man
Randy Savage. He sounds like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Bonesaw.
Yeah. He sounds like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Bonesaw, it's ready. I love Macho Man.
Like I say, he sounds like a jock. Like it's just
he does.
Like he had bad grades.
Wedgie. He got bad grades. Wedgie nerd.
Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. He got bad grades.
I know it's probably past y'all's younger, but you ever watch Revenge of the Nerds?
No.
Okay, what's the old movie?
Never seen it.
Heard of it,
Ogre. Nerds. That's what Venom sounds like. Okay, anyways.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for the 19th, almost 20 episode of the Zillow Boys podcast. Once again, thank you very much for Brandon for coming on. We actually have more topics that we want to discuss, so we're going to split this podcast into two. So we're going to have two podcasts. We're going to have this one, and we're going to have the one we're going to release after this.
Let's get it.
So, yeah, thank you, Brandon, for coming on the show again. Always good to have you on, your nerd face and everything.
But don't go anywhere, because we're going to record something.
Yeah, don't do it again, because we're going to do more with you.
We're still going,
We're still rolling. The hype train is going, man.
While you're here, we're going to use you as long as we want. That sounds weird. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the Zillow Boys podcast. Check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Click the notification bar below, little ding ding.
Ding ding.
Get notifications on our most recent podcasts. And thank you for everyone who is...
It's critical.
Go. Oh, we're about to go. Okay, anyway. Thanks again. Ernesto, let's get out of here.
Roll the credits, baby. See you later. Cut it over there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.